Hello and welcome. This is a video designed for people who are considering making an application for a territorial impact minimization license using the individual procedure. So someone that owns a house that's interested in getting a license for legalizing their property through the territorial impact minimization license. The report itself is referred to as a sectorial impact report. We have another video which explains exactly what that is, but basically it's dealing with entities which have had certain responsibilities delegated to them, for example the water board or the road network. And it's looking how your property, or if your property, affects those entities and their responsibility. So to access or create this report, we're going to be using the platform Guia-T, which was created as part of the Plan Agiliza. And it's very simple, anybody can do it, and we're going to take it step by step. You will need a digital signature. And if you don't know what that is, then you can always ask your town council, and they will provide you all the information you need to get a digital signature. It's a very easy thing to do, very quick, and so you should have no problem. So once you have arrived to the platform and you've introduced your digital signature, which many of you already have introduced, it's very simple. Just click on Connect, and away we go. Once inside, all we do is click on Projects and then New Project and click. So as you can see, the same data that's contained on your digital signature is reflected here. Your name, email, your data for contact with the public administration is here. All we do is complete the information they request, for example, another copy of the email. We choose the group of projects, which is projects related to suelo no brizable, rustic land at the bottom there, by an individual developer. Keep going down to the bottom, that one there. And we choose that as the group, and then the type of project, so just to the right there, we will have three options, I think. And we will choose the one which is a declaration by an individual developer, that one there. And we give the project a name and any observations that we would like to make, put that down there. We have the option of putting that there as well. From here, all we need to do is click on Create Project, Crear Proyecto, at the bottom here and on the bottom right hand side, and then we'll begin to take the first steps in making the report that we need to present as part of the declaration. The project is in process of being created. It will ask you to confirm if you really want to create the project. Yes, the data is correct. Let's go ahead and click on Create Project. Okay, it tells us that the project was successfully created. That's okay. We click on there, and the data is simply the same data we saw before, but we have a list on the left hand side detailing the things that we can do. And the one that really interests us is to choose the location, and which emplazamiento is location. And we have a look here, and it looks fairly difficult to see where you introduce the data. But if you go all the way to the right hand side, it says plus, and we click on the plus, we will be able to access the system and introduce a location in one of three ways. We could either introduce an address directly, put in the province and the address, the street name and number of the house, or we could go down and make if we happen to know the cadastral reference, then we just introduce that. Or we could actually go to the maps. The third option is the Alto en Visor, which is basically a map, and we just find our house, click on it, and we choose that as the location that we're interested in. So we have a number of different ways of choosing a plot, or designating a plot as being the one that we're interested in. Okay, we know we have a plot, and we would be interested in the afecciones, the impact. It says to us that we haven't checked the impact, the sectorial impact, and we know that, so that's fine. Cerrar, close that screen, because we want to do it, we want to check. It's a very easy thing to do. Let's close that screen. And we can see that on the right, there's a red arrow there flashing or moving, and all we need to do is click on that icon, and the process of checking will begin. We can see that it says not checked, not checked. All the different types of potentially affected sectorial entities are there: forest land, and flooding risks, and everything's there laid down by the different department. So the Department of Education, Department of Urban Planning, etc. They all have their own checks to undertake, and that's what we'll do. We'll go through simply by having selected that particular property and asking the program to run a check. Okay, it will check all of those potentially affected sets of legislations and laws at the same time, produce a report, which is what we need to have. So when we click on there, it will take us to begin the check. So iniciar comprobaciones. So we click on that, and if we just go up to the top there, we can see that the wheels spinning, and the first one's done. That's not affected. It's in green, etc. The first set of laws has been checked, and in relation to this property, green, and there's another one that says that's not relevant. Anyway, it goes checking all of these different sets of laws in relation to that property, and eventually it will finish all those checks. I think there are 19 checks that it does, and it will tell you that it has finished, and then we can just produce the report, and we're done. We can see, so 19 of 19 checks completed, and it's making the report. Everything's checked, and as this property is next to a road, it comes up saying that it's affected in terms of carreteras, in terms of roads. Doesn't mean there's any problem. It simply means that it's next to a road. It needs to be checked and okayed, but it's not saying that there is a problem with that sectorial entity. It's simply saying that it needs to be checked. The impact which comes up can be checked graphically. We can use this tool to have a look what it's talking about. It says it's affected by a road. It will tell you which road is affected. A map comes up there of which road is potentially affected. So it gives you extra information, not just the fact that it's affected, but potentially where. And we ask it to produce a report that gets downloaded immediately. It's pretty quick, actually. And this is the report, Guia-T report. Your data is there. If we scroll down a bit further, we can see the checks that were run and the results which were produced in relation to those checks. It's just a 3-page report. All you need to do is print it and add it to your declaration. Okay, for now, that's it. Thank you very much for listening.